Hi guys, if you're new to my channel, please subscribe. So I came up with these two looks using the Transition palette by Dominique Cosmetics. I love Dominique. I loved her channel. I learned a lot from her tutorials, and this palette, like I'm telling you, I've had this palette for a while and I just haven't touched it. And these mattes are some of the best mattes I've ever used. And I was like blown away, and I don't know, I feel like a lot of these are too dark for me to wear every day, but I totally dig this palette and I love it, and I'm definitely going to use it for now on when I'm going out because these mattes are divine. They're so good, and they're so good to mix with other palettes as well. So this is the first look. This is a mauve purple warm tone smoky eye with some little eyelash glue, but some light shadow in the inner corner. And this is just with like natural lashes. I was gonna put some false lashes on, but then when I did my natural lashes, I was like, I feel like some people don't always put false lashes on when they do an eye look, and that this is an eye look you could totally wear without false lashes. So yeah, this is just my natural lashes, and it's a mauve smoky eye. And then this eye is a more dramatic chocolatey, also warm tone, smoky eye. I love all matte looks for fall. I have a lot of tutorials doing all matte looks because I don't know why, I just like fall time. I like the all matte looks. So this eye is like a warm, chocolatey, all matte smoky eye. This is like different than the smoky eye, like smoking a crease in the outer V. This is like an all smoky eye, and I actually really like these looks. I find them kind of hard to wear because they wear away the easiest, I feel like. So when you're gonna do this look, I would use a base shadow. Something like this. I did not, but this is like a chocolate Too Faced like eyeshadow base. I would use something like that and blend it, cream it out on the eyelid, and then go in with your shadow because that will make this last longer. I feel like these kind of eye looks last longer for me on my lid. But with these, I'll get some like creasing and wearing away of the shadow. But if you use some kind of base, it can help this last. I didn't do that because I forgot until I was doing the look. I don't like long intros either, but that was a really long intro. And this palette, I'm telling you, if you want some good mattes, you really need to get this palette. Like, this is one of the few palettes I would say that you actually need in your collection. This is also like a bridal's dream. A lot of these shadows are things I think that look good on anybody. There's cool tones and there's warm tones. This is cool, this is warm. I actually mix these two together, and I'm telling you, they blend like a dream. Dominique Cosmetics really killed it with this palette. So we'll just jump right into the tutorial. And the first shade I'm going in with is Caramel. I'm using an Essence blending brush. I've talked about these brushes before on my channel, but the Essence blending brushes are so good. Do not sleep on Essence eye brushes. I also use the smoky eye brush. They're just so good, and they're so affordable. They're like $2.99. So I'm just going to blend this all over my crease area. This is a warmer shade. It's like a perfect transition shade. And these shadows are just so pigmented, so easy to blend, so beautiful. Once again, I cannot say enough that you absolutely need this palette. You need it in your collection because you can mix this with other palettes and like use shimmers and whatnot. So next I am going in with the shade Soft and Sweet. Soft and Sweet. And I'm using a Morphe J35. This is just like a taper blending brush, and I'm just blending this to pinken up the look because this is going to be like a more like a mauve smoky eye. And so this shade is very light, but it is like pink tinted. And so I'm just blending this into the crease area, building this up, and just starting to make the look more pink. And on a ColourPop E19, I'm going with the shade Blushing. This is like a pink brown. At first, I thought this was definitely going to be a brown shade, and it's definitely not. It's a mixture of like a pink brown. It's really pretty. And so I'm just blending this into the outer V, blending this up into the crease. And this E19 by ColourPop is just one of my absolute favorite brushes. It's just small, but it's like dense, and you can just pack on shades and build them up. And I just love this brush. This is the ColourPop E19, and ColourPop just has really good brushes in general. And I'm gonna film a favorite brushes video that's gonna come. But so yeah, I'm just blending this shade, building it up, blending it out, and just making sure I'm creating that smoky look where I'm like building up the outer V. And on the same brush, the E19, I'm taking Chia, which is a beautiful purpley tone mauve shade, and I am blending this into the outer V. And this is the shade that's going to give it the mauve look. And yeah, I'm just, again, these shades are so easy to blend and they're so pigmented. And I just love the touch of mauve that this shade Chia brings to this look. And I'm just blending this all over, really focusing though on the outer V. So just using windshield wiper motions, blending, I take so much time to blend out my looks. Like I blend forever. I love blending, and I promise that if you take the time to blend out your shadows, your looks they're gonna look so much better. So just make sure you take the time and you're blending this shade out so that way this shade blends in with the other two brown tones to warmthen it up. And then I'm gonna take the shade Natural and apply this to my inner half of my eyelid just to whiten up that part and make it lighter so I can have the smoky effect of light to dark. And then I'm going back in with the E19 just to make sure there's no harsh lines between those shades. So next I'm taking an A29 by Morphe. This is Ariel's brushes, and I am blending out the shade Soft and Sweet on my bottom lash line. This is going to help balance out the bottom lid and the top lid. And this is that pink shade. And yeah, like these shades are so easy to blend and so pigmented, and they just blend out super easy on the bottom lash line. It's usually a difficult area to blend out, but it works so well. And next I'm taking Chia on a ColourPop E19, and I'm blending this shade out into the outer half of my bottom lash line just to add the mauve and the purple to the look. And then I'm going to take the shade Caramel in A25. This is like a fluffier, smaller blending brush, and I'm just going to blend all those shades together, and this is going to help warmthen up the bottom lash line and also make sure everything's nice and blended, no harsh lines. Next, I'm just taking a small brush. This is one by Morphe. I don't remember the number, but I'm taking the white shade, which is called Frothy. Yes, Frothy. And this is like a really pigmented vanilla shade. And I'm putting this in my inner corner and my brow bone. And this is so pigmented for a light shade. And it's almost like there's a little bit of shimmer in it, but not really. And then I'm just going to take a black eyeliner. This is Anastasia Beverly Hills black eyeliner. And I'm just going to apply this to my bottom lash line. If you have smaller eyes, I don't suggest doing this because it's going to close off the look. But I just always like putting a black liner in my bottom lash line. And then I'm going with some Essence Lash Princess mascara. This mascara is phenomenal. And then I'm just going to finish this look using my natural lashes. I don't put any falsies on. I'm just blending away the fallout from the mascara. And that completes this look using my natural lashes. The second look is a chocolatey brown smoky eye. And this is just like another favorite fall all matte eye look that I love to do. So the first shade I am going in with is Caramel on my Essence Smoky brush. And this is like the perfect transition shade. It's like the same shade I used in the last look. And I'm just blending this out into my crease, building this up, making it nice and warm. This is an Essence blending brush, not a smoky brush. Next, I'm taking the A25 by Morphe. This is the Ariel brush, and I'm taking the shade Toffee, which is just a darker version of the shade Caramel. It's another warm tone brown, a really good transition shade, and so I'm just blending this into the crease, adding some definition, packing it on, just keeping it lower than the other shade, and making sure it's really nice and well blended. And just taking the time to make sure your look is nice and blended is so important. It just really makes the looks, come together. So take your time and make sure it's really nice and blended. So next on the ColourPop E19, I'm taking the shade Hazelnut. This is a warm brown shade, one of my favorite shades in this palette. I love it. It just looks so good. And I'm blending this into the crease. This is a really beautiful, warm toned brown that's like darker than the other two shades. And so I'm just really starting to add that smoky look, blending this into the crease, inner corner to outer V. And like I said, this brush is perfect. The E19 by ColourPop is just so good for being dense and packing on shades and making sure everything's blended, but also that you're getting enough enough shadow and pigment that you can blend it out. And so, yeah, this is going to start that smoky effect, and I'm just making sure it's nice and blended. So next I'm taking a cool tone brown. This is the shade Mocha, and I'm using a shading brush. This is one by Coastal Scents brushes. I don't know, it's so old, everything wore off the brush. So I'm just packing on Mocha, and I'm mixing a cool tone brown and a warm tone brown because these shades actually flow together. Some shades that are warm and cool don't flow and they don't look good, but these two shades together just look so good. And this is where I would have put on like a base, like an eyeshadow base, some kind of cream, darker brown shade, just so the shadow can stick, because I find looks like this wear off easy. But yeah, just keep packing this on. These shadows are super pigmented, so it does work out, but just packing on the shade Mocha. And then I'm going back in with the E19, whatever is left on the brush, and I'm just blending out the crease just to make sure everything is blending together. So next I am taking an angled brush. This is the one by Ariel and Morphe, and I'm going with the blackest shade in the palette, which is called Smokey. And I'm just putting this on the lash line so I can smoke out the lash line, and that way it just flows with false lashes. And then I'm using a ColourPop E19 in the shade Hazelnut, which is that warm tone brown. And I'm just going to blend this on my bottom lash line, balancing out the bottom lid and the top lid. And once again, these shadows just blend so amazingly. And so yeah, I'm just going to blend this out inner corner to outer V. And then I'm going to take Mocha on A25 by Morphe, the Ariel brush, and I'm going to blend out the bottom lash line again. This is just going to make it a little bit darker and making sure it's nice and well blended. Next, I'm going to take that white shade Frothy on a small brush again and just highlighting the brow bone and the inner corner. The shade is so pigmented and so perfect. It blends out so easy. And yeah, so that completes this look for eyeshadow. And then I'm going to go in with a black liner on my bottom lash line. I'm going to be using the Ariel, or I'm going to be using the Anastasia Beverly Hills black eyeliner. Next, I'm going to apply some mascara and then go in with the lashes by Kiss Pompadour. And that completes the second look. And so that is the two looks that I came up with using the Transition palette by Dominique Cosmetics. Thanks so much for watching, and please subscribe.